And
It's because I was wearing like slippers instead of shoes, so I didn't have any traction because
yeah,
there was a bunch of slush on the ground that I
yeah.
stepped in.
Would you be so kind, Bernie, to check to see if we're live? Pretty sure we are. Bernie's in studio today. Probably next 3 weeks.
But like beyond that, my legs just really hurt because I've been walking around all over the place at work.
Yeah, lots of work to do, dude. Uh, almost got confirmation here. Just need to make sure.
At least I only have to work on Monday next week, and then the rest of the week
Can
after
can you answer
Wednesday.
this and go get what he's yeah.
At least I think we're working on the 26th and 7th. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Depends if they change that or not. Also, my Christmas bonus doesn't amount to much because I'm immediately gonna have to spend that money, and it's a part of my paycheck. And like some of the time I had to go home from work because of the bad weather cuts into what gain I could have gotten from that.
Eh. Is he there?
I missed 2 days of work, so that's like $200 worth of money I don't
He
have
wouldn't
now.
answer you? Uh hang on one second, Eric.
Mm.
I might have to go outside and grab something real quick, but what's up, Scotoma? We're not late. What do you mean we're late? How dare you? We're always early. We're gonna have a great show. It's episode 8. What is this? 808. We've got a few news stories for you guys, as well as the usual. Eric's got a couple of reviews for us, or one review for us.
I've
Mike,
got a couple on the site though.
hold
In the
on, what?
feed.
Oh my God, you can't help me out? I'm on my show, literally.
Mm.
Just tell him I'm on my show, and I can't. Yeah, he's got a USB drive. That's all you got to do. Tell him I'm on my show.
Eh,
Golly.
what's going on?
Well, one of my friends is here dropping off a USB drive.
Uh,
And I can't get out there. Took the rest of the day off for this show. Right on. Appreciate that, Scotoma. We're definitely.
really? Because like that's at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, I think Scotoma works for himself, but he likes to make that money. So
uh,
very smart.
like a desk job at home.
No, like a home renovation kind of job. You know.
Uh,
But I'm glad you're here, Scotoma, for sure. Your fans demand the show goes on. Well, of course, I'm here. And
so last
yes,
show of the year, yay!
it is the last show of the year.
So I guess our free for all is going to be about our games of the year or whatever.
We could talk about that, but we also have breaks.
We could
On
always save that until to the New Year's episode.
breaks. What you call it? Panic zone. So we got to do breaks panic
Because I
zone.
still have like a good week to fit in another game, so why not just save it for New Year's?
No, I think we should do it and get it done and over with. People want to know what our favorite game of the year is, and we'll just do it that way.
I'm gonna just tell you up straight. I don't have one. I'm just gonna list off games I really enjoyed over the year
yeah,
instead.
I think that's a good idea, Eric. I mean, there's one game in
There's too
particular.
many good stuff this year.
Well, look, okay, so our game is the year are a lot different than most people's, like because we don't get to games right on time except for Eric, right? Eric gets games, and you're a ninja, Eric. You're a fucking unicorn, dude. Like I was looking at your gamer score thing.
Oh yeah, I still haven't done the Steam thing yet.
You're one in the 1 percentile on PlayStation, and that's all of PlayStation, mind you, of games played and gamer score.
Well,
So,
that was at the time I did that at least.
well, yeah, but I mean, dude, it's at the end of the year. Come on, man. Are you not gonna add to it? I mean, it's very, very, uh, you know what I mean. Very fine.
But I'm just
Uh,
saying, like, because the time people were by the time I put that out, not very many people have been submitting their Game of the Year stuff, so that percentage doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, Eric, like you're in the top 1 percentile of PlayStation, which is a huge accomplishment. Like it's nothing to balk at, and
Which is weird because I'm pretty sure I played more Xbox this year, trying to work on my gamer score.
yeah. It looks like Skodoma watched our channel more than anybody, which is awesome.
Maybe it just speaks to volumes, just how little time people will put into a game, and they'll play it over the course of several years instead.
Well, I was just about ready to say, Eric, like we do Game of the Year different.
Because everybody else is like probably working or something. I have a lot more free time.
Well,
even with my 8-hour job.
No, Eric. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. Like this show does Game of the Year a little bit different. We don't, it doesn't necessarily our Game of the Year. Like I just got to Tears of the Kingdom. When did Tears of the Kingdom come out? Like 3 years ago?
No, just
2 years ago.
Last year.
Oh, just last year? Okay, well, but still, I mean, I'm going to talk a lot about Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and that came out last year. So, our Game of the Year doesn't necessarily mean it came out this year. That's how this show works. I mean, it could be, technically speaking, it can be.
I wasn't really talking about Game of the Year stuff. I was just talking about
Eric, you just keep on interrupting, dude. I never get my points out. But what I'm telling everybody is, like, we do Games of the Year and that thing a little differently here. It's not necessarily going to be, the same year is what I'm saying. It might be, a game that came out last year or even 3 years ago. I think I made God of War Game of the Year for me personally like 3 years after it came out. So, it beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I guess. I didn't get a chance to play, and it's going to be this way going forward, especially for me, and I know for Break. We don't necessarily buy games right away because that $70 price tag is pretty hefty. There's only certain games that I'll do that with. I mentioned Dragon Quest, and I didn't even buy Dragon Quest 3 brand, right out the gate, just because of money concerns. Now I'm past that, but it's just one of those things, which leads me to a question, Eric. I'm gonna mention this later in the show, but I might as well ask you now. I got Sea of Stars for $25, which I thought was a good deal on the Switch, right? So. And I saw SMT Vengeance for $25 on the Switch, but I'd rather have the PS5 version, maybe? Do you think there's a big difference, Eric?
The frame rate on that game is pretty terrible on Switch.
Okay, so get it on...
The problem isn't that it's in 30. The problem is that it's almost never in 30 because it doesn't play very well. On the Unreal Engine just doesn't like the Switch. It doesn't at all.
Okay, so definitely get it on the PS5 then. But I'll wait for it to go down in price because it's still like at $40.
Although I imagine that when the Switch 2 comes out, it'll just play better because it'll be around the level of PS4, and the PS4 is already at 60.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind waiting, you can get it later.
I might still pick it up because I thought that was a really good price for it on the Switch, but I was waiting to ask you because of those problems. But the Switch 2,
you could sell the copy I gave you and then get that money back.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That copy's good, but
Of the vanilla version.
Yeah, it's fine. It just doesn't have the other part of it, but. I don't know. I'd rather get Vengeance for the PS5.
You could just keep it and play that later, and then play the canon of Creation, and then when you get the new one, you could play canon of Vengeance instead.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just kind of want it, for the PlayStation because I figured it would play better. I don't know why I thought that. Maybe it's something you said earlier, Eric, but it is what it is. We're just waiting on Breakman shows RPGrinders. We're gonna have a great end of year show. This is the final show of the year. um, for this show, I got other shit going on. Stinkos are gonna be great today. I've got one in particular that's very irking to me, and definitely very irking to Bernie. Sweetos are gonna be pretty good. I mentioned kind of mine, but we'll discuss some more. And what we've been playing is going to be interesting, at least in my case, because I'm not done with the game. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're just waiting on Breakman to jump on in. Let me see if he's anywhere near being here. Let's see. PC is the best. Consoles are like inside. How dare you, Scotoma? PCs have the best, latest and greatest graphics, all that type of stuff. But the problem for me, Scotoma, and it's gotten a lot better from what I hear, but the problem for me is you're constantly having to upgrade your PC. And I'm not a fan of that. I used to do it all the time. I used to be a PC gamer, and then I quickly found out that I couldn't play the latest and greatest without buying a brand new graphics card like every year. And I just didn't like doing that, especially with the prices of...
It made a lot more sense back then, though, Frank, because technological developments back then were a lot more rapid pace. Now it's slowed down, so you don't have to buy the latest graphics cards and keep buying them, especially since they're more expensive now.
I understand, but you still have the Windows issue, Eric. A lot of times you have to update drivers, or you have to update this, you have to update that. If on the console you stick the disc in, and you might have to worry about an upgrade, but it does it itself, and I don't have to search around and do all this stupid rigmarole for shit that I don't want to worry about. And the consoles offer that comfort level, I guess. It's the same thing with like my Mac, man. I never really worry about getting a new Mac until like maybe 5 to 7 years. I kind of think about it.
I do say if you do want to get into the PC gaming rabbit hole, I would suggest you buy ATI graphics cards, because they're the leading performing graphics cards nowadays instead of NVIDIA.
Yeah.
NVIDIA's just kind of fallen behind.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of games that release that tend to have problems with them.
Yeah, I know. See, but that's just the thing, Eric. I know.
It used to be the other way around.
Yeah.
ATI was the worst option.
Yeah, I know. I just, for me, Eric, I'm not a fan of just having to worry about upgrading and all that shit, whether it's software, hardware, any of that stuff. And I think I'm still solid in my choice of, being able to just be flexible with the PlayStation or Xbox. I love the consoles. I have all the consoles. Not a huge...
need to work on building a new PC.
Yeah.
But like, the Switch 2 is coming out next year, so I'll probably use my tax return for that.
Yeah. If you get a tax return. Let me see if Break is here. Yo, Break. We'll wait on Break. Let me see if he's in chat. Sometimes he's lurking in chat. It never shows when Break is like in there. In Skype, but we'll just wait a few minutes. Every time I upgrade, I notice another console comes out. Not normally, Scotoma. I mean, they are kind of spaced out in between now and again. Like Nintendo will come out with theirs like mid-cycle of the others. It's just kind of how it works. If PC is dog water, consoles are chicken water. I don't think PC is dog water, Scotoma. I love the graphics on PC games, especially if you get a brand new game that, has all the bells and whistles and all that shit. It looks fabulous. It runs smooth. I like the frame rates. There are things that I admire about PC gaming, but I don't want to go in a rabbit hole. I don't want to worry whether or not this game is going to work or not, whether or not I might have to worry about a graphics upgrade, shit like that. Like, I don't want to worry about that. I want to stick a disc in and let it run, and that's it. That's what I want to do. Or either download it to my console and have it go like that. That's it. You know. Alice in Wonderland, this shit. Yeah. But I do like I like some of the games on PC, no doubt, Scotoma. I just I'm not willing to go that route. It's why I got a Mac. I don't have to worry about software, this and that upgrade, and it just
Well,
fucking.
at this point, like consoles are getting so expensive, you might like once they start becoming as expensive as PC, you might as well just get PC.
Well, that's true too, and maybe that time will come. I mean, the PS5 Pro is what, $700, Eric?
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably build a fairly decent PC for that, But I don't know. I just like the fact that I don't have to upgrade or make it myself. It just comes all in a nice package, and that's it. It's already come with the PlayStation 5. Yeah, the PlayStation 5 is fine. The Pro is like a mid refresh, whatever. But I hear tell PlayStation 6 might be coming out soon, so I don't understand what Sony's doing.
It felt like it was like a prototype that they wanted to sell because they spent money on it.
Yeah.
And they're experimenting with AI upscaling, which is causing a lot of problems for devs that don't know how to program for the PS5 Pro yet because they rushed to make compatibility for games. And
yeah, that's why
play as good.
That's a good point, Eric, and that's why I'm not in a rush to get a Pro. I mean, let's see if Break. I think Break is here. Hold on. Yo, Break, you here? I think Break is here.
I heard that. I watched the Digital Foundry video, and apparently Dragon's Dogma 2 finally can run at 60 with the Pro, but I'm not gonna buy it just for one game.
No, there's a couple of games that run better. Let's see.
Yeah, they were already running at 60, but you had to sacrifice resolution. But now you can.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by the PS5 Pro, but you came up with a very good thing that I was also thinking about, Eric. Like with that AI stuff, like it just, some of the developers just don't know what to fucking do with it right now, and that's a huge issue. So let's call Break.
Yeah, by the time they figure it out, PS6 will be thing.
Yeah, PS6. I mean, that's as long as
PS6 and the next Xbox.
Yeah, as long as PS6 has backwards compatibility, which there's no reason why it shouldn't, then that's the route I'm gonna go. Breakman, you there?
It better have triple backwards compatibility.
I know, right? Right
double,
on.
I don't know.
Right on, Break. Nice to have you here.
Thanks.
Okay.
Just waiting.
Well, it would be triple if you count all the PS4
Break, it's really weird. Like Skype shows you. Skype doesn't show you online until like, I don't know, way later or some shit. It's fucking weird. But you guys ready to go?
Yeah. This is episode 808, right?
It's 808, and we're doing our game of the year. It's the last show of the year, so I figured we'd throw that in there at the end.
Shit. Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I figured we can. We all know what we played this year, what we liked, what we didn't like, etc. So. All right, Break is pulling one out to get rid of the pre-show jitter. He does that every week, Scotoma. It's like that's
usually on the way home. Like I'm driving home, like
just wanking right on your way home. Why not? I mean, All right, here we go, dudes. Hold on. If you hear any background screaming, just disregard that. That's just the kids that I have in the basement. That's all. Okay, here we go. That. And this. And welcome, everybody, to RPGrinders episode 808. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my cohorts, Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, how are you?
Happy.
It's
well, I guess
in his carp, apparently.
I guess that's better than sad, sad, sad break.
Yeah, yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. See, yeah. Break. How was your week, dude?
It's been kind of a long week, but yeah,
Well,
whatever.
you're here now, dude. That's all
But
that
I mean,
matters.
it's been up and down. There have been some good. It's a holiday week at work, so it was not much work getting done, like just eating and shit like that.
Just
But,
bullshitting,
but I got
you
some
know.
stinkos, so
Oh
that.
well, I mean, we know you're good for the stinkos every week,
Mm.
break. No worries, dude. But hopefully you have some sweetos to kind of sweeten that up a little bit. I mean, we
Mhm.
can't have the good with the or the bad without the good, right? I mean, that's how I look at things.
Yeah, sure, why not?
And Eric, I already asked you, but how was your week, dude?
It was mostly okay.
Yeah, well, that's good. Mostly okay is better than bad.
It was tiring because I worked my butt off to get stuff done.
And did you get said stuff done, Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a weird couple of weeks, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I can't really talk about some shit that has happened to me, but yeah, it's been weird. Let's just put it that way. Somebody's.
Background noise. That's my dog's tail hitting stuff.
That's what I was like. Damn, somebody's playing the drums. Awesome. That dog's happy though. That's a good thing. All right, let's get into it here.
RPG news.
All right, Eric, let's get into the RPG news.
From RPG site, we've got a little bit of unfortunate news, but the Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth games and Death End Request Code Z have been canceled in North America and Europe for the Nintendo Switch. Additionally, the upcoming Western release for Code Z, which I mentioned earlier, but the DLC specifically for it's not mentioned here, but Neptunia versus Dagus, that I can't remember the full name of that game, but it's another upcoming game, and it's the swimsuit DLC will not be coming to the Switch as well. But that game's at least coming to the Switch.
Yeah, I think what this says to me, Eric, is that they crunched the numbers and they weren't going to make enough money on the Switch to bring it out here. That's
I think that's the real story here. Plus, the Switch ports of these games are notoriously terrible.
Yeah.
And I think they weren't selling because they knew that they were terrible. But I think IFI doesn't have the money to pay someone well enough to put the work in to make it work better.
Yeah, I think
because they've been relying on people like Ghostlight and other companies that just don't do a good job.
Yeah, I think.
But like I think it's more complicated than that because I think there have been some ESRB changes that might have reclassified the game and ways that Nintendo doesn't want to. Nintendo had to adjust their own policies for, and because of that, I think this game got on the chopping block.
I don't understand that because they've got games called Hentai World that you can.
Yeah, but like maybe they're finally regulating their
Nintendo wanted to stop what was going on apparently.
Nintendo's finally probably taking care of like all the crap that's on the eShop and not letting stuff like that go through if it's of a poor quality or it's got certain kinds of content.
Yeah.
Yeah,
unless
which is
grandfather already in,
which is really
because it says specifically Nintendo guidelines. It doesn't say anything about content guidelines.
Well, it's really stupid. I don't like.
Yeah, it says in quotes due to the contents, but that could just mean like, we don't want to mess with this because we don't want to have to potentially answer to a Trump administration's new ESRB management.
Yeah,
I
I
don't even want to think about something like that.
I don't know about that so much.
And I
Eric.
think, but like if it's a censorship issue and the reason that the Sony's games can go on there without any challenges because either Sony's been lax lately and they're just letting stuff slide, or it's been grandfathered in because they previously were on the PSN store even if it was in another region. so they
Well,
can just allow anything as long as it hits the
I you know
storefront
they
first.
gotta okay. So we've talked about this before. They've got to do something different because there's okay. First of all, the gamers that started in the Nintendo days are all grown up now, right? They're beyond grown. They're older now. So
Yeah, but
they're
then you got kids that go to the
Yeah,
store.
and a lot of
just
guys
Buy
have
listen to
kids
me,
and
Eric.
have
Holy fuck.
grandkids and stuff too.
Yes, I understand. I get it. I know Nintendo's intentions, right?
They're a family company.
Well, they're a family
They
company,
they
but
want, and Miyamoto just said it recently talking about Mario Sunshine. Like he feels like he made it too hard, and he feels like that was a failure. Like to me, like I can understand like it is definitely too hard in some spots, but still I love that game.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much hard as so much as it was. They didn't design it well enough to make it easier for certain players.
well, which means it's
Yeah,
harder.
that's what he's really
Eric.
trying to say is that like he wants old people and young people. Like he wants you to be able to play with your dad and your son.
Like I'm
basically.
thinking, like Sunshine didn't get a rigorous
everybody
QA playtest.
I hear what I hear what you guys are saying, but look, Nintendo's got to get with the program, and they started to. Look, there's games on there. Like I picked up like Hentai World for like $2, and all it is like a little slidey game where it shows you nude pictures of hot chicks, right?
like I watched a video and somebody offered some speculation as to like Nintendo's making themselves look like the bad guy in order to protect IFI because of certain changes in the RSB and Nintendo having to comply with those changes.
Okay.
And so they're basically telling IFI, this is what we want you to say because we want to look like the bad guys here because it will protect you.
Here's what I
Because I don't think Nintendo's ever told companies you can't do this because it has certain content. Because Nintendo has had a long policy for like at least the last 10 years where like unless it's like some weird thing where it's the localization choice by the Nintendo Treehouse when it came to like stuff like the Breast Slider and Xenoblade Chronicles X, like Nintendo will allow people to do content like this because when it comes to the Neptunia games, there's nothing in those games that would warrant it being an M-rated game specifically. And Death End Request Code Z is mostly gore and violence.
Okay,
and
so this is my problem with the ESRB, Eric, and let me please speak on this. Give me a minute to just talk about this.
God, Frank, all you do is talk.
How dare you? How dare you, Rick? I think we've covered this before. Okay, back in the day, video rentals were for adults, right? All adults, even the movies that were on the shelves, only adults could rent those movies, right? There has to be a system in place with everybody, and there has to be a place for all types of games, including mature oriented games, right? It's sort of like back in the day, first of all, you had to be 18 to rent a game or buy a game, right? Even if it wasn't mature, if people remember correctly. Way back in the day, you had to be 18 to rent a movie. I know that's a weird concept, but that's how it was, right? So there's got to be some system in place where you can go to any of the stores, whether it's Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, whatever, and go to a section like back in the day when you went to the back of the store and you had to go through these beads to get to the X-rated content, right? There's got to be something similar with mature rated video games. And I don't know what the solution is, to be honest with you, but I think that's a market that does exist. We've talked about it before. People are getting older. Even our kids are getting older, or the generation beneath us is getting older, and beneath them is getting older. So it's a natural progression of things. We don't always want to play the Marios of the world. Sure, you, Break, I, and Eric have the spirit of older generations where we grew up with Nintendo and those type of PlayStation and those type of games, but we've graduated beyond that. Can we still play those games? Yes, I'm going to talk later about my game of the year, and it's not a mature game, but there's a place in my mind that I want to go with video games, and I'm not talking porn. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about more mature themed video games that I need access to. And if Nintendo's not willing to give me that access going forward, then I think that I need to reassess my patronage of them and only buy their first party stuff and not worry about anything else. Just go to Sony or Microsoft or like we discussed before we got on the air, maybe PC later on. Because
I'm wondering why they decided to cancel the release. I mean, technically they could still do a workaround by releasing all their localization work as a patch for the Japanese version, and then people could import that.
Well, why go through all that trouble, Eric? Like, nobody wants to do that. I know
it's asking a lot of the importers, but then the kind of people that are buying IFI games are the hardcore sicko fans like me. So
my personal opinion is that Nintendo says that they want to be a family company. Like that's their goal. I
think it is based on the fact that we are going to have another Trump administration for another 4 years.
No,
because I do remember back during the first round of the Trump administration, Sony got really strict about what kinds of content it would put on the PSN, but now it's Nintendo's turn.
Can we at least...
I get it with Nintendo, but Sony and Microsoft should be different. These companies cater to adults.
Well, let me also tell you...
They should have more adult content. I mean, Sony, for instance, like their top game is what? God of War?
And the thing is, I think IFI could fight for the right to put this game on the storefront, but it would cost them too much money to the point where the sales they generate from it wouldn't be worth the cost to.
I mean, let's just talk about Neptunia to begin with. I don't think they're all that great of games to begin with. So
they have a specific audience.
Yeah, they have a very niche, specific audience that's not going to.
An audience that likes to play one-handed with Lou.
Possibly with the swimsuit editions of it. On that note, let's go to the next story break.
Coming to us live from RPG site. Action RPG AI Limit launches on March 27th, 2025 for PlayStation 5 and PC, and there's a 9-minute preview.
Yeah, which I tried to play.
This is gameplay, but I guess Frank's going to play it or something.
I'm going to try to...
I don't think you want to play all 9 minutes of it, do you?
No, I'm going to try to play... hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. It looks cool. I mean, it. You know what this reminds me of? What the fuck is that game that I was just playing? Son of a bitch. This reminds me of a game, and if I remember it, I'll let you guys know. I played it on the PlayStation 5 recently. Ugh. I can't remember, but it reminds me kind of that. It's an action RPG. The darker style, not as quite as colorful as the game that I was playing, but I mean, it looks okay. I mean, it's just standard fare, but maybe it'll be good. I don't know. We'll wait for the reviews. Anything else on that break?
No.
All right.
Just reading chat and enjoying myself. Actually, the game looks like it'd be fun to play, honestly.
Yeah, it does look okay. I mean, it's fine.
I'm worried about repetitiveness from what I've seen so far, but it looks like it'd be fun.
Yep. All right, speaking of fun, Final Fantasy VII Remake PlayStation 5 and PC update adds head start mode and fast forward cutscene option. That's always a plus.
I wonder if that will be rolled into Rebirth soon.
I know. Can you just skip? I mean, that would be ideal. Just but
I love the story in a lot of games, and I want to see it once or twice, but for the most part, I just want to get back to the gameplay.
Yeah.
This might be like for people who want to get to a specific scene, like especially if they were trying to record clips.
I got you. Well, that's a helpful feature.
Or just take pictures.
Well, they could give us both options, or all the options.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. This is them adding to the game. It was already the ability to skip it. It was already there.
Okay, I didn't know that.
All right, Eric. Next story, please.
But the Head Start mode, I just want to explain it really quick. Gives you a high level character, powered up inventory, which I guess just has some of the high level gear. 50k gil and a number of maxed out materia and more. So like super easy mode, I guess.
Yeah. All right, Eric. Next story.
Next story is the sad story, but it's going to be followed up by a bunch of good news. It almost seems more entirely based on like trying to celebrate the fact that he's led the company for so long. But the Neon Falcom founder and chairman Masayuki, sorry, I'm kind of tired. Kato passed away on December 15th at 78 years old.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, he did live 6 years past the expected.
He was in his 30s when he started this company. That was back in the 81.
Yeah. A lot of great games out of Falcom, for sure. Nihon Falcom. So that is sad news, Eric. All right, Breakman, next story, please.
Hold on a second.
Oh, he's got to shit his pants, I think. Hold on.
I was trying to say something in chat, but I can't do it now. God damn it. Coming to us live from RPG site, Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. The first launches on PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and Steam World.
Hold on, let me interrupt here, Breakman. Can you do that differently? Can you just say Legend of Heroes Tits? The first launches.
Legend of Heroes Tits in the Sky. The first set of tits, or is this like the first set of tits in the sky?
No, if you do the anagram, or is it anagram? I believe, not anagram, but the initials. It's tits, TITS, Trails in the Sky.
Tits in the Sky. Oh, Legend of Tits.
Yes,
Legend of Heroes Tits. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
You're all Beavis and Butthead here.
Yeah,
Tits.
pretty much.
I mean, I already did that joke with Frank earlier.
We like our boobs, Eric.
Tits.
Yeah, great game. I'm excited for this.
Tits.
Yeah, the Tit series is great.
The interesting thing about this is that Gung Ho Games is publishing it, which does free up Nisa to release Kai no Kiseki like just a few months prior.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm pretty sure that's going to happen, and I think this is a big move with Falcom having a bunch of multiple publishers handle their stuff, so that the West can finally get caught up on their releases.
Yeah. Freak 5's in chat. What's up, Freak 5? Nice to have you here. Skodma says tits are nothing without nipples. I would agree with that.
It's true. Oh my god, there's nothing I hate more than watching like an anime and they'll show like the boob, like nippleless boobs. Like, oh, what is that, a mannequin?
I haven't done that in ages, and the reason for that is less to do with censorship and more they just didn't feel like animating and drawing it.
They do that with the penis too. Like they just don't want to show it, so it's like the smooth down there, and it's like, God, that dude's a mannequin.
I know.
There's no genitals. What the fuck is going on?
I know.
Here?
I don't understand that either. Maybe it's what Eric says. They just don't want to take the time to animate it. But come on, man, do it right. I mean, you know. Yeah. But
or don't do it. Don't if you're not gonna show the.
But there's already censorship laws for nudity for the genitals anyway. So like having the mosaic, that is even more extra work that they don't want to do.
Skodoma says the Barbie version. You know, speaking of that, Jason X. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie, but the android does not have nipples. There was a scene. It was kind of funny. The guy was trying to.
Oh, they're androids, so I expect them not to have nipples.
Listen to what I'm saying, Eric, before you speak. There's a scene in there where the guy that is like in control of her or whatever is like trying to add nipples to her, and they fall off. It's a pretty funny scene, but kind of like that movie. It's underrated, but you know, I think it's it's my turn. More from Ease. From Nihon Falcom. Ease X, Proud Nordics announced for 2025 release in Japan, significantly upgraded version. So it's, let's see if we can find out what's upgraded on it. No, it doesn't
really say.
Doesn't really say.
Other than the fact that, I mean, I think they put out, I think I got a press release that explains it a little bit more, but there's going to be a new island with new story content, and there's going to be mono-ride races and new battles in an arena, which wasn't a thing in the original.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping it's just an update I can pay for it, and I don't have to buy a whole new game like Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance.
Yeah. I wished it was like that, where you just paid for an upgrade. That'd be a lot better. Because
they could probably do it in a way where an upgrade is feasible because, like, that's kind of how they handled the ending of Trials Through Daybreak, too, because apparently it wasn't quite finished, and they had to release, quote unquote, an update that actually added the ending to the game.
Freak 5 is 100% correct. He's like, I think he said something like it's kind of hard to animate blurry penises. If you go on to Pornhub or any of those other sites and you watch Japanese porn, all the penises and vaginas are blurry. So I guess
that's censorship laws, but you're probably talking about someone who's using AI to try to render the mosaics out. Yeah, then they become blurry.
Well, whatever. All right, Eric, next story, please. More Ease.
Next story is there's more East content here because East versus Trails in the Sky Alternative Saga, which was East versus Trails fighting game that was originally developed by Tales Studio. It's basically East Smash.
Yeah.
So Refint Games is publishing this one and doing localization work, I guess, because there was already a fan translation patch. So wouldn't be surprised if it's mostly based on that. But they did some tweaking to, make it official and tidy up some rougher edges of that translation.
Absolutely no gameplay, so.
Well, if you want gameplay, I guess you could just go online.
Yeah, I guess. All right.
But anyways, it was originally a PSP game, and it says according to the newly opened Steam page, the re-release will feature English and Japanese voice acting, support for 4K resolutions and 60 FPS, but that only pertains to the PS4 and 5 versions and PC versions. But Nintendo Switch doesn't get that crap because it's a Switch.
Maybe we'll get that in the Switch too, which probably comes out next year.
And it says sometime in 2025, so no hard release date yet.
Yeah, Scum, I agree. Nobody complains about fully erect and hard penises.
But it'll include mouse and keypad support for the PC release, which, I don't know why you'd want to play a game like this like that, but it's there. I guess if you wanted to challenge yourself. But anyways, that's all there is for this one.
All right. Breakman, you get the honors of doing the last story.
Last story of the fucking year. Yeah, baby. Coming to us live from RPG site, Indie RPG Off is coming to Nintendo Switch. Actually, it's capital OFF, so I'm going to go Off is coming to Nintendo Switch and Steam in 2025.
Yeah.
I'm scared of dog? Okay, I'm not going to do that again. Sorry, dog. New features and improvements. 2008 released Indie RPG Off is coming to Nintendo Switch and PC in 2025 with new features and Why is that the exact? God damn it!
Why are you just reading like a teleprompter? Just ignore that shit.
I was distracted by my dog. I didn't want to hurt her. Let me see. Developed by Belgian developer Mortis Ghost, Off will be getting an English release for the first time next year with publisher Fangamer, also doing a collector's edition and physical release. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to see what the differences are on those. Let me see. The collector's edition comes with a sturdy gift box style collector's case, physical game for the Nintendo Switch, because duh. But then again, if they didn't put it on there, I guess people would ask, well, does the game come with it?
Well, they have to. Remember that one non-game release that they did that did not have the actual game in it. I can't remember which one it was.
There was a couple games back then that did it, but one of them was Wolfenstein.
Yeah, Wolfenstein was one. Exactly. Stupid. You paid a bunch of money. You didn't even get the game.
I think it was like for Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry, Break.
It was called the Panzer... No, it was the first one, but it was called the Panzerhund Edition.
Yeah. Go ahead, Break. Sorry.
It comes with a comic book, Zodiac cards, an instruction manual.
Well, that's unusual.
Art card too, but it comes with a manual.
I know.
But anyways, this game was heavily inspired by Earthbound, and it's also kind of heavily inspired Toby Fox's own Undertale game.
Okay.
which only came out a year later, by the way. But
Yeah. I mean, it looks okay, but
All I know is I see ghosts on here that look awful lot like sperm.
well, that's a plus bonus, I would say.
Hmm.
I mean, we can use our imaginative adult minds. Okay.
also, the reason it's called
Like,
off is because there's like light switch imagery placed throughout the game. So like, it's off as in like there's a state that's not only just out of place, but also like a light bulb's been turned off.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Double the entendre there. So there you go. Okay. So Freak Five asked us a question. Have you guys seen the Superman trailer? And the answer to that, Freak Five, is yes, I have. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I haven't seen
That
the
was
trailer.
gonna be my sweeto, but you kind of beat me to it, Freak, by mentioning it now.
Yeah, you son of a bitch, Freak. Looks really good. And I'm with Scotoma. It looks good, but I hope they do. I don't want an origin story. Everybody knows the origin of fucking Superman. Like, let's.
It doesn't look like an orange story.
Yeah.
It's cryptic with him.
Yeah,
I think it's
I don't
gonna
know.
be a unique kind of origin story because I think he wants like a young Superman, like kind of starting out. But
Yeah.
I don't think
Kind of
we're
like a
gonna get the
Batman
same-
year one, but Superman year one.
Maybe. I don't know. I
like
just.
that, like a Superman year one type thing.
I don't want a fucking origin story. Like, please don't give me I mean, everybody knows the origin story of Superman. Let's not go there. Let's just skip to the good stuff. Nobody. I mean, there was no real origin story with Guardians, so I have full confidence.
But it looks more like it's going to be a vehicle for the rest of Gunn's plan DCU because other characters are showing up like Hot Girl and shit.
Yeah.
I'm definitely okay with it. It looked great to
And
me.
Nathan Fillion's playing as Guy Gardner.
After this year of James Gunn, and especially like the Creature Commandos, if you guys have been watching that, I am excited for this Superman. I haven't seen the trailer yet.
You got to watch it, Break.
James Gunn is on fucking fire.
He really is, and he started in Marvel. Like, he was doing great work there, man. Like, Guardians was fucking awesome,
I
man.
think Scotoma mentions here in chat. This says looks like more Christopher Reeves type of Superman. I think that's exactly what he's going for because I think what's going on in Gunn's head is that he saw the '80s movies and he saw that they nowhere near lived up to the potential that they could have had, and he wants to recreate that but like make it good this time.
God, it does look good.
That is my biggest problem with like the Henry Cavill kind of Supermans. He wasn't like that Boy Scout Jolly G.
He didn't have the warmth. He didn't have the
Christopher
warmth.
Reeve type
Yeah.
thing. Like
Yeah.
I liked him, but I didn't. He was not as like Christopher Reeve.
Well, it has the same problem all the Steiner films had. He
Yeah.
wanted to make it too dark and edgy for the sake of it.
Yeah, Batman is tailor made for edginess, and Superman is definitely not. There have been some great.
I mean, I like Man of Steel, but it was like, yeah, it was weird.
There's
it was really dark Superman, and it's like like that's all right, but Superman's not like he's supposed to be like the positive attitude type guy. You know? Even when shit's down, like he knows like everybody's looking to him to save the day.
Right, he has to be, right for everybody else type thing. Christopher Reeve, perfect example. I mean,
he knows he's stronger, faster. He can do all this other stuff, but he has to control like all that stuff, and he knows he has to be more than just a man. He has to be a symbol.
And you know what? I think James Gunn is doing this properly because later on you can do edgier stories with Superman, and that's the contrast, right? You get people used. It's sort of like in wrestling. You get people used to a baby face, right? Breakman, you'll know what I'm talking about here.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden they do a turn, and you're like, holy shit! I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I'm expecting that, but way later in this James Gunn run. He's going to do DC justice, I'm telling you, man. Freak5 says, I also saw the teaser for a Return of the Living Dead remake. Hope it isn't like Gremlins 3. I don't have high hopes for that, Freak5.
We can make it like Superman versus the Elites.
Yeah.
Where he pretends to be edgy and dark, and then to convince them how awful they are.
Yeah. Okay.
I was thinking more like dark. It's like Death of Superman type storyline.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm sure Gunn is going to do that storyline and do it really well. You know,
Dude, way better than Batman v Superman. Jesus,
I
I
know.
hate that movie.
Oh God, yeah. Even the director's cut wasn't all
Yeah,
that
like
great.
I love Zack Snyder, but I hate that fucking movie. That is such a bad
I
movie.
have to think that Ben Affleck is probably one of the worst Batmans on screen. Just so bad. I mean, I think even worse than George Clooney's Batman, and George Clooney's Batman was god awful.
And just to just to reinforce that, both of them are in the Flash.
Yeah, right. All right, let's move on to
Inquiring minds want to know.
Breakman. What have you been playing?
Which was also a bad movie, The Flash. Mostly Vampire Survivors. Just it's a fun game, and I keep unlocking more and more shit. Like I keep going around. Here's something else. Oh, there's a new stage, and then they unlock flip the stage upside down and new different modes in each stage, and it's just there's always something with this game.
Yeah. Oh, look who decided to show up in chat. It's Wyland. If Gunn wants to tickle my hole, embrace the '90s gimmicks, and give me electric Superman, he's all for it. I think.
Well, we kind of have that with My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah, I think I have full faith in Gunn Wyland. I really do. I think Wyland is or Wyland. I think Gunn is just a mastermind when it comes to bringing these characters to screen. Who would have thought Guardians of the Galaxy would have become what it became? I mean, I was a fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy years ago, but
And see, I never read the comic because I looked at the comic and I was like,
yeah.
I liked the cover of the comic.
Oh, the comics were great, man. They had stories a lot along the lines of what was on screen. They were really good, really.
I didn't know that.
Really,
James Gunn did, and he did a fantastic job with
Yeah, he did great, and the comics were good. You should read some of those comics, Break. They're pretty good, especially the Rocket Raccoon kind of saga and how he became to be. Like it touched on it in the movies, but it didn't really go in depth to what Rocket went through, man. Like, you know.
Ooh, I'm with Johnny Woofay.
Yeah, Azrael Batman.
Yes,
Fucking A, man.
yes.
Why not?
Fuck yes, super dark Batman. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Azrael. Fucking A, man. Great stuff.
Yes, remember that after Bane broke his back and he tapped that jackass to replace him. Turns out like he was. I call him a jackass because he's like.
I don't know about the whole Absolute series of comics that are out now. It just feels like excessively stupid and like from the Image Comics era of comics where everything is ridiculous.
I like the Image era comics. I used to buy. I had every Image comic for like the first 2-3 years. I mean everything, every variant.
Was Gen 13 Image?
Was what? Gen 13, yes.
Gen 13.
Yep.
I know Prime was. Prime
Yeah.
Man or whatever his name was.
Prime, Gen 13, which was a pretty great comic to start with.
And then there was one called like the Green Dragon, I think.
Savage Dragon. Savage
that
Dragon.
looks like a fish.
Savage Dragon.
Savage Dragon, yeah.
Yeah. I was.
Yeah, I like Savage Dragon.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, what have you been playing, Eric?
Just more, I played and beat Visions of Mana, and I'll have a review next week, and that'll kind of like sort of make up for the fact we're not having a show next week. So
Yeah.
that and a couple other reviews will be on this feed for the site.
Skodoma has a homie.
My long-awaited review of Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, along with that and a couple others, I think.
Yeah. Skodoma has a homie discount for us. South Park Stick of Truth is on sale on Steam for $3. That's a great game.
But other than that, I played a game which I can't talk too much about because they technically sent me a review code for a game, but their preview embargo was lifted, so I could talk about it in that capacity. But I've been playing The Oath in Felghana, East Memoir, LPO from Pelgana, which is for all intents and purposes, a remaster of the PSP game. And it kind of made me question why I had to, why there's an embargo for a game that not only covered back when the PC version came out, but also the PSP version. It's like, why is there an embargo for this? But like then I was thinking maybe the embargo is for like the quality of the port itself, and I've got things to say about that.
Yeah.
For the review, and you'll just have to listen to that one.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. It's a good way to play the game, but like there are a few things that left me a bit disappointed.
Yeah, Oath and Felghana is a great game from when I remember playing it on the PSP. But yeah, looking forward to that for sure, Eric. Wyland says he started up Soul Reaver 1 Remastered. A good choice. And then Freak says, Guardians of the Galaxy porn. Imagine Groot having sex. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. Yeah. That's an exile.
You're exiled. Both of you.
Yeah.
You're gone, both of you. That's
Where's my
ridiculous.
kick button? I'm sure it's out there, Freak.
Oh my God, you're probably right.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm sure it's out there. Okay, now what I've been playing might be a little bit of a surprise. You guys know I finished up Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and guess what I've been playing? I've been playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, because
I was about to guess that.
Yeah.
You didn't let me check.
So you're going for all the Korok seeds, aren't you?
I am going for all the Korok seeds, Eric. I sure am. I want that golden poop worse than anything, because that's an accomplishment I don't think you guys are going to go for.
More like now.
Yeah, I'm going for that accomplishment, because not even Eric has that accomplishment. I don't think. I don't think he bothered.
No, I'm waiting till the Switch 2 comes out, and then I'll go back to Breath of the Wild and that game and try to go after the Korok seeds then.
Yeah, no, I'm doing Tears of the Kingdom. It's 900, and I have I think 266. Was it, Bernie?
I might just replay those games first, though.
Yeah, it's like 200, about 270.
266 or 268.
No, I got a few more in that last session, so it's like I'm like up to 270. It's gonna take me a while to get them, but I will get them. Wyland, I'm waiting for MVC Infinite and Beyond mod to drop. Supposed to be sometime today. I would imagine. Oh God, Scotoma, how dare you?
Anyways, the mod's supposed to basically just vastly improve the game by offering characters people wanted and fixing movesets and changing the visual style so that it doesn't look ugly as piss.
Okay.
That's what the mod does.
Okay. Like I said, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going after that golden poop, and I want that accomplishment because not even Eric, the mighty Eric. Let me talk about Eric real quick. I know you're not probably gonna want me to talk about it. Eric is in the top 1 percentile of all PlayStation gamers in the United States, at least.
Trophies.
Let me give you an Eric
In trophies.
story.
Yes, in trophies and in gamer score. Eric is. I mean, he's
I want to give you an
My
Eric.
gamer score is pitiful compared to other people's.
I understand that, Eric, but your trophy collection is legendary, dude. It is, I mean, quite simply, pretty fucking amazing, Eric. Like it's a thing to behold, man, and you should be very, very proud of that. Like to be in the 1 percentile of all gamers on the PlayStation Network, Eric. That's a huge ass accomplishment, and you should be pretty proud of that. But just thought I'd mention that. That's my little contribution to Eric's fucking dominance this year in PlayStation. All right, let's move on to reviews here.
RPGrinders reviews.
If by trophies you mean stalker keepsakes.
I hunt people. I'm
Yeah.
Craven the Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. Except don't suck as much as that movie apparently does. All right, Breakman, do you have any reviews?
Why is it so hard for them to Sony to make a?
No. I don't think it's hard. I think they're doing it on purpose now. They're purposely making the worst movie they can so we can talk about how awful it is.
Yeah, but to what end, Eric? They make way less money making a shitty movie, you know? Although I did see that the audience is eating up Craven the Hunter. It's like got an 81 percentile on Rotten
I
Tomatoes.
hate watching it. That's why.
No, I don't think it's hate watching. They actually enjoy the film. People are enjoying it.
It's R-rated, so they might like it for blood and guts. I'm guessing.
I
Maybe.
don't
Some
know,
of them.
maybe, but apparently they think it's an interesting origin story for one of the good villains in the Marvel universe, which Kraven the Hunter
Maybe
is.
they're just liking the movie's concept. They just hate the execution.
I don't think they hate anything about it. The critics hate that movie. That's it.
Well, of course the critics hate the movie because one, it's a superhero movie. It's not art, so they're gonna hate something that's not art.
Not art, my ass. Well, whatever. All right, Break, you have a review.
No, I don't.
All right, Eric, your review.
If I see Craven, though, it won't be until it drops on Netflix.
I agree. I'm going to wait on that. Yeah, for sure.
But what are you saying?
Your review, Eric. You have a review.
Oh, yeah, my review of both Knuckles and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Knuckles isn't required viewing, but it does give you some context for a scene that happens in Sonic 3. But like only to the smallest extent, you could skip Knuckles if you want and you miss anything. But Knuckles is really fucking weird. 6 episodes of him going on a journey of a sense of belonging, because like through the misadventures he has with Wade, who's a character in Sonic 2, the cop friend, the deputy cop friend of Donut Lord. Anyways, he's trying to compete for the bowling tournament, and then he gets kicked off the team because he basically just chokes at the end of the match, or his practice match. And then a couple of ex-gun employees that are disgruntled and want to make money and want to get back at even at gun, try to kidnap Knuckles in order to sell him to somebody who wants it. Basically, it's a rehashed version of the plot of the first Sonic movie, where Robotnik wanted Sonic's powers by taking, like, I guess their essence of the energy field that they can just tap into. But this time it's Knuckles. So lots of goofy shit happens, including like a vision quest that Wade goes on, where he learns the backstory of Knuckles trying to train to be a hero as a rock opera, and it's just goofy as shit. And Wade meets his family members, and they're like super stereotypical Jewish, which I don't know why people think it's funny. It's kind of almost anti-Semitic, if you ask me, at this point. But there's crazy shit that happens there, and I think it's worth a watch for just seeing how just bizarre it is. And I'm giving it a 7.5.
All right.
And Sonic 3 is clearly the best Sonic film that's being released today. They just keep improving on the formula they established with the first movie. And even if you didn't like 2, you'll really like this one, I think.
Okay.
And I don't even think 2 was bad. I think they just couldn't figure out what to do with the human characters.
Yeah.
In this movie, they definitely figured out what to do with the human characters. They have a bigger role to play, and their participation in the film itself is interesting. And they're like, I think almost Knuckles is almost required watching, even though it has nothing to do with Sonic the Hedgehog 3 film, because its weirdness rubbed off on it. Because there's lots of crazy and goofy scenes that happen in this movie that, if you watch Knuckles, you'll get the context as to why they're doing this, because they just lean into it more, and it works better this time, I think.
I heard Jim Carrey's great in the movie.
Yeah,
Eric.
He's another show stealer.
Yeah. All right, so what are you giving Sonic?
And I think they mostly faithfully adapted the storyline of Sonic Adventure 2 without any of the extraneous bits that make it a mess. But I'm giving Sonic the Hedgehog 3 a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, wow, that's really high praise, man. I did hear it was really, really good. So,
and of course, because it's Sonic, there's obviously going to be another follow-up movie.
Of course,
at least one more.
And hopefully Jim Carrey will continue on with it. I'm sure the money that they offer him will.
Yeah, because he isn't planning on not doing the role again after 2 came out. But I think 1, he didn't know there was going to be a sequel, and 2, like, I guess if the money's good, he'll do it.
Well, I mean, he does have some money issues, so that's probably why. But sometimes adversity brings out the best in you. So I'm glad to hear that it's great, Eric, for sure. I want to see it, but I'm gonna have to wait a little bit because I gotta go see Nosferatu, and I kind of want to go back to the theaters to see Terrifier 3, which
I think it's more like Carrie's actually cares about what's going on in the film, and if the script isn't up to snuff, he doesn't want to do it. But they have been so far, so
yeah,
that's why he keeps doing
the
it.
scripts have been pretty great for the Sonic movies. Even one I thought was pretty good. Wyland says Craven is out on the high seas. Yeah, unfortunately.
And in case you were wondering, there's a mid-credit sequence and a post-credit sequence.
Okay. Scotama says, have you guys watched Arcane League of Legends? I heard it's really good, Scotama. He says it's really good. And Freak 5 has, he told us his concept about an 80s trope-filled movie, and hopefully his coworker's daughter gets it done. That'd be cool, Freak 5. Scotama says it's on Netflix. Yeah, I just, I watched another show on Netflix that I was a little confused. I think it's on Netflix. It's called Secret Level. I don't know what's going on in that series.
I think Secret Level is a weird vehicle to surprise launch game announcements related to these standalone episodes.
The first episode,
Secret Level is basically just an anthology of like unrelated shows.
I know they're unrelated, but I don't know the video game the first episode's based on. Is it like Warhammer or maybe Warcraft? I don't fucking know, man.
But anyways, like, the only reason I say that it's a vehicle for launching new games is because, well, the Pac-Man episode basically led to Shadow Labyrinth becoming a thing, and now we got the actual creative team being listed for possibly the next Mega Man game, the Mega Man episode that came out this week.
Oh, Freak 5 says,
don't fuck with my emotions.
Yeah. No, I'm not fucking with it. Like, this is probably more of a statement intent. This is who's going to develop the next Mega Man game. Capcom already there was already news about Capcom basically having people, interns making it like a demo based on probably what will eventually become the next Mega Man game.
Don't
How
fuck
dare
with
you.
my emotions, Capcom.
I know.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Give me Mega Man or you don't. Don't toy with me like this.
Wyland's toying with me right now. He says, I got my first copy of Terrifier 3 in the mail the other day. So that leads us to...
What is it?
Stinko of the Week.
All right, I'll talk about that, Wyland, right after Breakman talks about his Stinkos
I got a
of the
billion.
week.
Let's go ahead and start. No particular order. I'm just gonna go in this order. Caitlin Clark. She had an article where an interview, and she talked about white privilege, and a lot of her fans proved their point by boycotting her and saying, yeah.
Oh man, whatever. Okay, what else?
It's not about race. We weren't there because you're a white girl and you're good in a black league. Oh yeah, that's exactly why we're here. Shit.
Right.
Mike the Swine is reinstating a law that's going to force people on Medicaid to work, which, I mean, it sounds good in theory, except where there are going to be people that are hurt, and people can't all work. And it's the reason he wants to do this isn't because of Medicare. It's because he wants people to go back in and work these jobs. Wendy's is having problems staffing people because they don't want to pay more than $12 an hour.
Oh.
And that's what they want to do, is force these people back into those jobs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is about.
Yeah, of course.
Ken Paxton is a piece of human garbage. I hope the worst for him.
I don't know
he
who that
be in
is.
prison. He is suing a doctor in New York because the doctor had a telehealth appointment with a woman, and the doctor prescribed the woman anti-abortion medicine. Yeah, you've got no authority whatsoever to sue somebody in New York. You fuck.
Right. Well, the courts will take
your
care
law,
of that.
not New York's law.
Right.
You assholes want state rules, state laws. Well, this is what you get.
State laws. That's right. All right. What else you got?
You get fucking mayhem. You get everything by doing everything they want, but nobody else getting whatever. It's a clusterfuck. Disney TV show. There's a new one that's coming out. I forgot to write the name of the show down, but it's about baseball. They had a trans character written into the show, and right before it's about to release, they informed that actress or actor. I'm sorry. Actress. We don't use the term acting. It's always everybody's actor. That they're cutting her scene, and she is now a straight white girl.
I remember reading something like that. I mean, let me tell you this, Breakman. Do you actually blame Disney for this? Because there's a lot of pressure on, especially with the upcoming administration and stuff, to quote unquote act right.
There's so much hatred.
I know.
And in Congress, what's his name? Josh Hawley and some other guy, one of the Kennedys, was going off about trans people in sports and stuff like that. All these trans men are taking over women's sports and stuff like that. There are less than 10 trans athletes.
I know they're
country.
They're worried about a problem that really doesn't exist, like stranger danger. It's like it just doesn't hardly ever happen.
Yeah, Disney is supporting Jay-Z as he's accused of raping boys and stuff like that, but they're afraid to do this. Yeah, a girl and there are men and women. Yeah. The lawsuit is a woman, but he's been accused by multiple people.
Yep.
Anyway, so men, boys, and girls.
I hate all you guys the same. Scotoma says. I agree, Scotoma. That's fine. Hatred is universal.
Yeah. So they use trans people as a scapegoat to put all this blame on them. So our government doesn't have to actually legislate anything because everybody's worried about this tiny little minority of people.
Yeah. Wyland has a stinko. He says it's been without a car since Thanksgiving, waiting for it to get repaired. That really blows, Wyland. Maybe sell some of your statues to get. I'm just kidding, Wyland.
This is a stat, this is a
Frank,
stat.
you need to get your Funkos and start selling those.
Oh my God, no, those are mine. I have Funkos. Ugh. I wouldn't want to do that. All right, Break. What else you got?
This is a stat that's really pretty sickening to me. The children that were murdered in Sandy Hook would be going to college.
I know. That's
their first year of college right now.
Yeah.
Fuck Chuck Schumer and the Democrats for approving the defense bill.
Yeah.
That shit bill. Yeah. We've talked many times. We don't support either fucking party.
Nope.
Obviously, Trump is corrupt and they're a real threat, but Democrats are, they're corrupt too.
Yep.
And they're weak, and they sit back and let guys like Trump do whatever the fuck he wants.
I think it's the latter, not the
Joe Biden
former.
is still the president, right?
Right. I think it's the latter.
How the fuck is Trump dictating what's fucking going on?
I don't understand that either. For the past few months, I've been saying Trump is aligning these people. I'm like, nothing has happened yet. Why are you guys are blaming Trump for everything, and nothing has fucking happened yet. So stupid. Let's see. Wyland got into a wreck. Damn, dude. Are you all right? I mean, holy shit. That really sucks.
Oh, it didn't cost too much. I hope your car wasn't total. I hope you weren't hurt. That's definitely a stinko. And another stinko goes to, I just wrote this down on a stinko, and it's kind of just more of a sweeto. It's kind of a thing that's going to piss off a lot of MAGA. They're gung-ho, and they are happy about the huge tax cuts that are going to come for the billionaires and stuff like that. If you remind them that George Soros is one of those billionaires, they lose their shit.
Ugh.
It's been a fun little game online because they're celebrating 1 minute and the next they're fucking dying. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh yeah, you're getting what you wanted, right? I thought you hated that guy. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Congress slipped this one in. They gave themselves a fucking pay raise.
What a shock that is. I've mentioned this before as one of my stinkos, Break. If you remember, probably about a year ago, they never, ever vote against raises for themselves. Ever. I think it's happened maybe once or twice in the history of Congress.
They've given themselves pay raises, I think at least 3 times since the last time minimum wage was raised.
Yeah. Yeah, no, way more than that, break.
It's
But
more than that. 'Cause they went for a while without doing it. They went for a few years without getting
you
the child
know what
raises.
I and this is how the only way that the minimum wage is going to get raised federally. Tie Congress's wages to minimum wage. Whatever
Yeah.
the minimum wage is what you guys make. Period. There you go. End of story. Ends all debate. No problems. You will see that minimum wage go way higher, really quickly too. And I do believe they should work for the minimum wage. They all make shit tons of money doing other ventures. They're all business people, have millions of dollars in the bank before they even fucking get into office for the most part. So why not? Jared Leto as fucking Skeletor, please no. Please no. But whatever. All right.
I'd rather have Jake Gyllenhaal as Skeletor.
Jake Gyllenhaal? Yeah, that'd probably be a better choice.
He's good.
All right, Break, what else you got?
Let me see here. Texas is already deporting citizens of this country.
Yeah.
It's ICE in Texas.
Wait a minute.
Did you hear about
Citizens?
this family? What's that?
Citizens?
Yes.
Oh, I knew it wouldn't be long.
There's a man, woman, and their family, and the woman had an emergency C-section, and her twins were born, and the other kids. They were all born on American soil. The children were. The husband was an American, and he was married to the woman, who was in the process of getting her green card. She had to postpone her thing because of emergency C-section, and then she was arrested and deported by ICE.
Oh, good job, ICE. Brand new mother.
And
Good
her
job.
children who were born on this soil are American citizens. They were deported too.
You gotta be fucking shitting me.
No, this is the America we live in. Donald Trump hasn't even taken office yet, and we're already deporting American citizens.
Yeah. Well, can't blame Trump for that one, can ya?
I mean, you can blame the Republican Party. It's just, but the Democrats have been going farther and farther into this, getting like blaming immigrants for everything too. Like, just look at the election cycle when when Republicans are saying the worst things out are trans and immigrants. Democrats are screaming, well, yeah, the immigrants are a problem. Yeah, like right behind them.
Yeah. I hate those stupid fallacious arguments backed by nothing. If you look at the real numbers, it tells a different story. The immigrants to this country are way less inclined to commit crime than actual citizens. But
yeah, people who don't want to interact with the police in any way are going to do things that don't attract police attention.
Right. They would never do what I do in Cop Watch. They would never do that. I can tell you that much. All right.
Oh, yeah, I just thought that one I forgot to write down, but I know there's a bill in place in Ohio that's going to charge 75. What was it, Ohio? It might not be in Ohio, but there's a bill in place to charge $75 to, yeah, I think it's Ohio, to view police cam footage.
Oh, it's already like that here. It's like $57 for an hour of them like redacting whatever they have to redact. And my point is this, that the minimum wage in Aurora is still stuck at like 11, I think it's like 11.75 if I'm not mistaken. Why don't we tie it to minimum wage or less than minimum wage so everybody can afford those fucking body cams? They won't do it though. It's like $57 an hour. Stupid, arbitrary number and we pay the people that do that shit anyway. So where does that money go? Freak5 says, my Stinko Tuesday, Mrs. Freak tested positive for COVID. It was the day before her infusion, so her immune system is at its weakest right now. Sorry to hear that, Freak. Hopefully you don't get it, dude.
Good luck to her.
Yeah. So good, so far so good on Freak5 not getting it, but still, man, that's gotta really suck, man.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm fine with him as Skeletor, I guess. I don't know, man. I mean, you never know until he gets the job, but
that's my thought. Is you never really know. Like I've seen actors like, oh god, that guy's gonna be terrible for the role. And
Michael Keaton.
Like, you know what? He was good.
Yeah,
Michael. And then there have been actors where I thought they would be good, and it was like, oh no, that was the wrong guy for that role.
Yeah, Michael Keaton's a good example. Nobody wanted him as Batman, and he fucking tore it up. He was great, but whatever. Diane Feinstein was yeah, I agree with that, Scotoma. And Mitch McConnell could play Skeletor too.
Wait, what? But if Dianne Feinstein plays Skeletor, what's Nancy Pelosi gonna do?
Oh, that's true.
Maybe
Well,
Evil Lynn.
like an older version, like an alternate.
No, she's way too
She's the old version of Evil
undead to
Lynn.
be.
She could be like an alternate older version, or like a grandma version of Evil Lynn, and then like Mitch.
Evelyn's grandma.
Yeah, and then Mitch McConnell could be like an old version of Skeletor. Only he doesn't talk at all. He just like sits in a chair and just like stares into the ether. You know, I hate talking about people like that, but fuck them all, man. They all fucking hurt the American people. Oh shit, she went to the hospital this morning, freak. I just read that, man. Getting admitted, but she's still in the ER. Oh man, god damn. I blame the public. No, just blame the fucking politicians and the system. You know, I mean that's the real problem. Oh, the new Beetlejuice was pretty good, Scotama. I should have reviewed that. I forgot to review that. But whatever. What else you got, Break?
A few more. I am sick of the media and people in general pretending like when women stay with a terrible man that they aren't terrible too.
They could be.
I mean,
yeah, they very well could be.
Like Cheryl Hines.
Yeah.
She stays with a man who killed people. How good of a person can she be?
Well, I mean, you got to ask yourself that question, right?
People are, the media is going to her and asking questions like, well, what do you think about your husband eating fast food?
Yeah, that's the hard-hitting question that they should be asking, Break, for sure.
TMZ, fucking waste of space. Next, I talked about earlier blaming trans people, and they're doing it. A bunch of right-wing media people are doing this, where the school shooter, the latest school shooter, was a little girl, a 15-year-old girl. So obviously, the first thing they said was it was a trans person, and they've used a school shooting to vilify their enemies and shift blame away from, say, the gun argument or anything like that. You know. They've turned it. They've controlled the media so bad that now when school children are killed, this is what we argue about, whether the person was trans or not.
Yeah. They never want to attack the issue head on. Break. Whether you want to say it's guns or mental health or whatever.
The politicians doing this and like stuff like that, like I expect it from them, but the mainstream media just goes along with it like it's no big deal.
Yeah, they don't care. You know why? Because everybody wants the status quo, Breakman. I've talked about this. If you're a Democrat, I disagreed with something you said earlier. The Democrats are not weak. They have just as much power as the Republicans, usually. But they want the status quo. They want things to stay the same. If stuff shifts too far to the right, eventually it'll shift in the center. They never go left. I mean, I've never the only time this country ever went left was the New Deal back in the day, and after that it's been nothing but shit ever since, and centrism and right-leaning conservative policy. And if you don't believe me, just look at the country from the time the New Deal was put in place all the way till now. I can make the argument that this country has never been but center. The closest thing we've ever been left is the New Deal, and that's it. I mean, that's the formation of Social Security, which is highly popular. I think something like 73% of the country loves Social Security, and they want to fuck. They want to fuck that up. And they want to fuck up Medicare and Medicaid, which is stupid as fuck, instead of expanding it. But, I mean, you got to have your boogeyman, so you got to turn to immigrants and, liberals are fucking up this country, and immigrants are fucking up this country, and trans people are fucking up this country. And, I mean, if you go back to every election, it's always the Mexicans, Break. I say this in all earnest. I know I'm a Mexican American, but I look at all these elections and it's all about the worst that Mexico's sending us. And that's Democrat or Republican. They just say it in different ways. And they want you to be on their side, so They'll bash
And
whatever group.
You actually said it. You kind of said it when in your statement right there. Mexico sends us. Mexico didn't send anybody.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
But that's the rhetoric, is that Mexico sent them to us. No,
right.
they didn't.
These people chose to try to get away from awfulness. That's what's going on. And this country's supposed to be the beacon of light for immigrants. But if you listen to somebody like Stephen Miller, we're all the enemy, right? Just because my skin color is a little bit darker than you guys' skin color, I'm the enemy. So people are trained that way. We're the worst, right? Mexicans are the worst. We're the rapists. We're the murderers. We're the thieves. We're the ones that carry knives. We're the ones that are conniving and stuff like that. It's just an image that people can't get out of their collective heads. It's amazing. And you spoke about mainstream media. Mainstream media adds to that narrative, Breakman. Every fucking corner of mainstream media is about how awful Mexicans are. And nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing. Every single illegal immigrant from Mexico that I know, they're good people. They're really good people that work really hard and don't get in trouble on purpose because they don't want to go back to the bullshit that's going on in their country. You know, and those type of people should be celebrated. I spoke about my brother-in-law who got deported to El Salvador because, I don't know, somebody just felt like he was brown and deserved not to be here. So he's suffering in El Salvador now. Meanwhile, he spent 20 years in this country paying taxes, never once got the benefit of those taxes, right? Other than just living here, and worked really hard as a person that put on siding on houses and never got so much as even a traffic ticket. And that's the type of person we're turning away in this country, and it's a shame. It's a damn shame. So, you know, there you go. What else you got, Break?
Yeah, my last one goes to my dog needs surgery again.
Oh, no. What
kind
for?
of emergency surgery. I got to take her in on Monday. So.
Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that, Break.
Yeah, it's just she's already had surgery this year.
And look at what Skodoma says, by the way, the illegals I know pay taxes. They almost all do, Skodoma. That's the fucked up thing about it. So getting all these illegal immigrants back to Mexico is not going to solve any problems. As a matter of fact, it's going to hurt the economy. Back to your dog, Break. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So
they're illegal because they basically skirted the law in their own country to get away from the country's bullshit.
Yeah. So Break, what's the outlook on the surgery?
It should be fine.
Okay. Well, that's good news. That's something to be thankful for, I guess.
This isn't like it's if she doesn't get it, she's going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Well, definitely get it. You know, for sure. Well, anything else, Break?
No, just Merry Christmas. Wait, that's on Stinko. We're on Stinko.
Yeah, we're still on Stinkos, man. Which Christmas in itself can be a Stinko, but you know.
Mrs. Bregman was asking me.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a Stinko for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, I didn't see that you had a Stinko other than
the death of the founder for Neon Falcon.
Yeah,
but I kind of included it in the news because we were talking about all the Falcon stuff.
Yeah.
So I will put it there.
Yeah. My Stinko...
Also, I do have a Stinko, one more that I showed you that I thought Break was actually going to talk about, but Ohio lawmakers passed House Bill 8, which would force schools to out LGBTQ plus students to parents and limiting such topics in curricula, which we already talked about.
I don't like the limiting of stuff.
I hadn't talked about it yet because DeWine hadn't signed it. I was waiting for DeWine to sign it, and then I was.
But he's probably going to do it anyways. So
I know he's going to sign it. That's why I was waiting.
Yeah.
But it also mandates a release time for religious instruction, which I'm sure is constitutional because that's against the Fourth Amendment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is a breach of church and state separation.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that'll be challenged in court.
But Ohio doesn't seem to care about the law, so they're going to probably do it anyway.
Well, it'll be challenged. There'll be people that'll challenge it. So all
there
hope
should
is
be a
not
class
lost.
action lawsuit, and the state should get sued for it.
Yeah. Freaking
But
Break.
they're calling it the Unsafe Students Act, which is the most bullshit.
I'm not against cutting
Well,
government spending at all. Like, but they're doing it the wrong way. Let's look at the fucking defense budget first and foremost.
But
Let's start
Frank
there.
did tell me like people should try to challenge it by like saying religious instruction should be allowed to go to the Temple of Satan or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Satanists should rise up. That's what
Yeah.
my point was.
Yeah.
They,
And
absolutely.
like I said last week, the Temple of Satan, yeah, they're on it.
And any other religious affiliation like Buddhism and stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can't just discriminate, right? I mean, we're supposed to be equal.
How about my non-religious instruction of just talking about secular hedonism?
Well, let's go there too. Why not? Fuck it. Okay, earlier, fucking Wyland. Wyland, are you still in chat, dude? I need to talk about this because he was talking about he got his first version of I know he gets all the versions, son of a bitch, and he's, I know he's listening. He's still in chat.
He's the one that stole your copy.
Maybe he was, because I was eagerly, and so was Bernie. I got Bernie for Christmas Terrifier 3 Steelbook Edition, which I never buy. Well, I've slowed down quite a bit buying physical copies because I just don't have the room. I've explained this. I'm coming to around you guys' thinking on physical instead of digital. I think it is important to keep physical alive, but I bought a physical copy of Terrifier 3, the Steelbook Edition with all the bells and whistles. And Amazon, and this was in October. I checked my order date. It was Halloween. I bought it for you, Bernie, for Christmas. I thought that would be a really nice, like, stocking stuffer, right? Not your ultimate. I can't wait to show you your ultimate. You're gonna freak out when I show it to you. But the Terrifier 3 stocking stuffer, Bernie knew about it. She was excited about it. I didn't want it to just come in the mail and it be like, oh, here's, Terrifier 3. I wanted it to be a little bit of pomp and circumstance. Did Bernie forget to use lube this time? How dare you, Sconaway, you son of a bitch. So we're waiting, and it says it's going to arrive like yesterday, right, Bernie? It said it was going to be here yesterday, and I'm looking at it, eagerly anticipating when it's going to be here, and an hour goes by, nothing. 3 hours go by, nothing. The whole day almost goes by and nothing, but it still says 10 o'clock. It'll be here. And then about 9 o'clock, it says delayed. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I ordered this goddamn thing in October just to make sure I got my copy. And I'm not very happy.
Amazon's deliveries lately have just been wonky.
Wyland says, my Terrifier 3 Steelbook arrived in a paper bag from Walmart, somehow unscathed. I almost wish that I would have got it from Walmart, Wyland. But the reason I get stuff from Amazon is because I get 5% back on everything I buy there. So, I bought it there thinking that Amazon's usually pretty reliable, but not this time. No timetable on when I'm going to get my copy of Terrifier.
Sometimes I'm told things on my phone that it's going to come later, but it ends up coming like a day or two earlier than they say it does.
Not this one.
But other days it just takes longer.
I don't know what the problem is here. I don't know if it's the manufacturer of the Terrifier Steelbooks. I don't know if it's Amazon. I really can't tell, but I'm not happy about it. That was supposed to be part of Bernie's Christmas presents, and that's super disappointing. So, that's, I know it's a materialistic thing, and I'm not all about, that type of lifestyle, but, when you do get something, you do expect to get it on time and all that. And Amazon Prime is a paid service, so, I just don't understand. I'm not happy. And there's no way to complain about it at all, because it hasn't shipped yet, and, none of that. So, and then on top of that, I tried to get it at Walmart. No copy at 2 Walmarts that we went to. I tried going online, and they don't have it for sale.
Maybe it's just a general shipping issue. It's just not getting to places.
Yeah, I know. Sounds like it with way Frank. How dare you, Scunway? You're exiled, you son of a bitch. Wyland says, my brother's friend found the Steelbook a day early at Walmart. Yeah, a lot of people were finding it early at Walmart. Now you can't find a copy of it anywhere, Wyland. So I'm keeping my Amazon copy on. I'm just hoping they fucking fulfill it at some point. Let's move on to happier thoughts, though.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet! Sweet of the week!
All right, Breakman, your Sweeto of the Week.
Okay, now I can say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that stuff. Yeah, now it's a sweeto. Yeah, I got right this time.
Yeah.
I figured it out. My real sweeto goes to, for the first time since 2018, the Bearcats fucking won the crosstown shootout. Oh fucking god, yes.
What? What's the crosstown shootout, man?
Oh,
Cincinnati
it's
versus who?
Xavier. That's
Oh,
the
Xavier.
annual show, the big game every year, and they haven't won in 6 years. It's
Yeah.
so it
Yeah,
feels
it's a
so good.
college basketball.
It's my favorite sporting event of the year, and the last several years have been like mostly not competitive.
Xavier's
Last
got a
year
good
was competitive,
basketball team, man.
but this year was a very competitive game, and it turned out good for the team that I love.
Yeah, you know what didn't turn out for my team? The Broncos lost to the fucking Chargers on Thursday Night Football, which would have ended an 8-year run of being in the playoffs, and we're probably not going to make it as a result. So.
Well, the Bengals need a miracle from your team. They need your team to lose a couple more times for them to get it.
I really want them. I want the Broncos to beat the Bengals just to fucking end it, man. Like end this curse of mine. Break. I'm gonna blame.
You know what? I am down with whatever gets Zach Taylor the fuck out of Cincinnati.
You're not a fan, huh?
No, he has wasted the most talented quarterback and wide receiver pair in the league.
I agree. And he's got another great
fucking
receiver in
wasted him.
T. Higgins. T. Higgins is a great receiver, man.
Yep. Yeah. Like there's no reason whatsoever the Bengals should have a losing record right now.
No.
Except that they have been badly coached.
Not with your quarterback, man. Remember when they drafted him, Break? You were kind of like skeptical. I'm like, that
No,
dude
I
is.
was the fuck not. I was excited.
No, go back and listen to the tapes,
No,
Break,
bullshit.
man.
I was excited for Joe Burrow from day one.
I'd love to go back to the tape and listen to that. I remember distinctly telling you
I
he's
was
going to be a good
one
one.
of the people who was talking about drafting him. I wanted to draft him.
I disagree with you, sir. We will have to go back to the
You
tapes,
can
as they
disagree with
say.
me all you want, but I've been on the Joe Burrow bandwagon since the beginning because we had Andy Dalton, and I have said Andy Dalton's good, but he'll never be great.
Yeah.
And there is a chance with Joe Burrow to be great.
I think he's still got a lot of great years ahead of him, man. He's a fucking
and they're
great
being
player.
wasted under Zach Taylor.
Yeah, it's kind of how I feel like Nikola Jokic for the Nuggets, man. I know we have one championship, but we should have 2 or 3 now, and we don't. But it's okay.
Talent.
Yeah, it's a waste of talent, especially when you don't utilize your talent that way. Yeah. Yep. All right. Any other Sweetos, Break?
Nope, that's it. I'm still riding the high of the crosstown shootout win.
Yeah. Eric, any Sweetos on your part?
I guess you could say for Sonic 3 being as good as it is.
All right, very good. Mine is I found Sea of Stars on the Switch for $25. I thought that was a pretty decent deal. And I was thinking, I talked to Eric about this. I was thinking I found SMT Vengeance for $25 on the Switch, but I was hesitant on that one because it's the Switch. and I'm glad I did because Eric is like the PS5 version's probably better. So yeah.
I did forget one thing. There is today is the last day of the Best Buy sale. There are 12 days of gaming, and today they've got several games on sale. They've got FIFA. They've got no, it's FC. I'm sorry, not FIFA. It's FC. They've got Madden. They've got Dragon Age.
How much is Dragon Age?
42, I think.
I might pick that up.
They've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Standard. They've got the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, and they've got Epic Mickey.
Yeah,
I might just skip getting Dragon Age until it's even cheaper though, because I might get Astrobot instead.
Deal ends in 4 hours and 43 minutes.
Yeah.
4 hours and 34 minutes. Sorry.
Wyland says, Sweeto, I might get my car back on Monday, and my Kickstarter Medieval Spawn will also be here Monday. That's pretty badass. Wyland, Medieval Spawn was wicked, man, the design. So, not a very good action figure to play with, Scotoma says. Okay, my Sweeto is, I already told you my Sweeto. So, Breakman, I think you...
You've reached the panic zone.
Scotoma says, my Sweeto is America's about to be great again. Any day now. I'm sure of it. It's going to happen on January 6th, Scotoma. You know, that's when it magically is on day 1. is when it's going to be great again. All right, Breakman, do you have a panic zone for us this week?
I didn't actually come up with one. Let me think of something real quick.
Okay.
If
If not, I got something we could talk about. We can talk. I got something we can do instead. Break.
Well, yeah, also I'm thinking of something while you're doing that.
Okay, let's do this then. All right, so game of the year time, guys. It doesn't necessarily have to be a game that came out this year. I'm going to start with Eric. I know you don't want to necessarily mention one game, but what you got for us, Eric?
Okay, I really enjoyed playing Trails Through Daybreak and Metaphor Refantasio, and let's see, the little time I went through Shin Megami Tensei 5 Revengeance. I mean, I haven't played any of the Vengeance content, and I'm sure it's great, but just playing it with a performance that isn't garbage was fun.
Is it garbage on the Switch?
I need to get back to it.
Is it garbage on the Switch, Eric?
I told you this before we started the show, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, man. That's why I don't even want to play it. I know you got me that copy, but I'm like, man, I'll wait till it goes down in price on the PS5. What else, Eric? What else game of the year for you?
Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven. And Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And that's about as much as I can think of. I mean, I wouldn't call it game of the year material, but it's definitely up there in terms of quality. It's Visitors of Mana. So I'll have a positive review of that coming soon. You can hear exactly how positive. So
all right. Scotoma says 7 Days to Die is his game of the year. Wyland says I should go back to 7 Days.
But there was another game I played called it's on Game Pass right now. It's called Nine Souls. I haven't gotten very far in it, but it's intriguing enough I'm going to keep playing. And I think, and I've heard from other people that it's like one of the best Metroidvanias released this year. And it does have very big emphasis on pairing, kind of like Sekiro, where but you don't have, unlike Sekiro, I don't think you have to do multiple. I mean, there are multiple parry moments, but you don't necessarily have to if you want to. But you can do a parry, and then if there's an opening, you could dash past them after hitting a button that tags them with basically a seal, and then you could detonate the seal, and that's how you primarily do most of your damage.
All right.
And you can do chip damage with basic attacks while you're waiting for the stuff like that to trigger. That'll be able to just get through a boss fight better.
Yeah.
And it's got a dark storyline developments too, so it's interesting from that aspect as well.
All right. Any other games that you want to mention, Eric, or are we good?
Oh yeah, Dragon Quest III 2D HD 2D remake is another great game. And trying to think of indies that I enjoyed. Penny's Big Breakaway, I haven't really got too deep into it, but that's pretty fun. I just haven't had the time to play it.
You mean your game of the year isn't Balatro, Eric?
I'm not a card player.
I like cards, but
I don't really get poker or the Texas Hold'em, so I won't get into that kind of game.
Yeah. All right. Breakman, your game of the year / games of the year.
I came up with a Panic Room, by the way. My game of the year is Dungeons 4.
All right.
It's unexpected sequel, and it's great. I can't wait to get the DLC for it that's been coming out. I give an honorable mention to Vampire Survivors. I know it didn't come out this year, but I haven't been able to stop playing it for the most part. I'll start playing something else for a little bit, and then I'll get back to it, and it's an hour later. I'm like,
that's when you know you've got a really great video game break, when you just can't stop fucking playing that game.
It's so simple to play.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention Super Mario Wonder was another good game I played this year.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta play that sometime. I need to get my Switch fixed.
I know, Break. You need that. Man, at some
Also,
point.
the remake of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is also pretty fun.
Yeah. Um, my game of the year. I think it's a no-brainer. I think this game is probably game of the decade. Um, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, I know it didn't come out this year, but it's my game of the year because I played it this year. I don't. I'm not like Eric. I don't buy new releases. I know Break is kind of the same way. We wait till games get quite a bit cheaper. Nintendo's a little different though. That their games
Yeah, I
hardly
do
ever.
that with games I'm not really sure I'm gonna get later.
Yeah. Uh, games. The Nintendo games tend to not drop in price anytime soon, so I go ahead and buy them, even if I know it's gonna take about a year to play. How dare you, Freak 5? You're exiled, you son of a bitch. But Tears of the Kingdom is definitely one for the ages. It is quite a bit more lush than, and I mean lush in gameplay and other mechanics than Breath of the Wild. It plays around with mechanics. I think Breath of the Wild 1 was an all-time game as well, but it doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really hold a candle to Tears of the Kingdom because there's just so much different, better things to do than some of the things in Breath of the Wild. Plus, the map is much bigger. There's plenty more things to do and substantial things to do. So I don't know, man. For me, I'm thinking of all the games I played probably last 5 years, and there's nothing that has come close to the gameplay or the mechanics or the fun. And that's what we play video games for, the fun factor.
And
I think
this is why I can't get with Wolfie's comment here. I mean, it's like I can hate Nintendo all I want, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna play games like they put out because the developers are not the management of the company.
Yeah, and I think I agree with Wyland though. He says great games but shit company. I mean, I think I tend to agree with you in a lot of ways, Wyland, but I think they produce so many great games that it overwhelms the shittiness. You know what I mean? Like all the Mario stuff is usually great. Zelda is always great. Metroid when it comes out is always, a good time. And other first party things like their RPGs and stuff. But I think I agree with you, Wyland, but
Nintendo's always been a shit company, though.
Yeah.
It's just that you're not hiding it anymore.
Well, it's sort of like the scenario that we talk about with certain developers, Eric. Like, the developers themselves can be asshats, but does that mean that we don't play the game because a lot of other people worked on that
Wolfie
game?
said he never did play them, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. It's like music. Like, yeah, R. Kelly's a shitty person, but the songs are good.
Yeah, you can't
I
deny
know
that.
plenty
You
of
can
people
still
that
listen to
don't,
the music
though.
without praising him.
Yeah. No, I understand, but I also understand if you want to boycott certain things, right? If you don't want to listen to an R. Kelly song because it triggers memories of shittiness and his shittiness, I get it.
I'm thinking of other games that I played this year, and I completely forgot to mention Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. If you're a fan of Metroidvanias, play
Freak
that.
5 is exiled, son of a bitch. Yeah, but I think we're a little too harsh as critics of games and of movies and of music. I don't think the criticism is unwarranted. Like when we talk about crunch and other type of stuff, does that prevent you from playing the video game? Like maybe it would take a bunch of people to boycott to make people think that we're okay with just a few releases instead of a few hundred releases a year. I mean, I think it's okay. It's the market is definitely getting saturated. I can't keep up with everything, Break. Can you?
No, I haven't never been able to. We all have a pile of shame, don't we?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I'm looking at, Elden Ring I still have yet to play. What else?
There's so many fighting games I'd like to play, but there's so many other games I'd sooner play first.
Yeah.
That I just don't get it to them.
Yeah, and with RPGs, I want to play more RPGs, but they take up so much time.
Yeah.
It's like, I could be playing 4 other games. And
It's like the reason I haven't bought Street Fighter 6 yet is because I know there's gonna be like another Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
Like Street Fighter 6 Champion Edition or whatever the fuck they're gonna call it next.
Yeah. I laugh at the music playlist at work while it says there's a Diddy song in it. Wow. Well, I mean, like I said, there's a Diddy song that I really like, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit it, but it's that All About the Benjamin ones, the rock version of it. But it's like
I talked about before. I'm a really big Notorious B.I.G. fan. Diddy was a big part of those first albums.
Yeah, I know.
Or all 3 of his albums, I should say.
I know.
So,
and it sucks. I liked a lot of that music, Break, but now it's like, ugh.
Exactly. It's hard. It's like, you hear a voice. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if he said this song right after he raped somebody.
I know. Or during, like, ooh.
Yeah, like he's like in the middle of a rape session. He just stopped to record some audio.
Oh my God. Ugh. Yeah. I know. But Tears of the Kingdom for me, guys. Like I don't think there's been, at least in the last 5 years, a better game. I think it's the greatest game in the last 5 years, at least, probably 10. And it's an all-timer. It's definitely better in a lot of ways than Breath of the Wild, even though Breath of the Wild is stratospherically great. I mean, I think I gave Breath of the Wild like a 9.5, and I gave Tears of the Kingdom a 10. And if the scale was higher, I'd give it higher. It is, let's put it this way. It's my second all-time favorite game. And that's I don't think that's to be taken lightly. Like I've played quite a few video games, and that one is up there.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, you got a panic.
It's better than Dragon Quest 8.
Oh, it is not. How dare you? How dare you, son of a
Exiled.
bitch? You're exiled. All right.
Do we know if the next Nintendo is going to be backwards compatible? Have they even talked about it yet?
Yes. It is.
Okay.
It is literally just a Switch, but with better hardware built into it.
Yeah. Deluxe upgrade on Steam is $30. I have no idea what that means.
He's talking about Tekken 8.
Oh, Tekken 8. Yeah.
Basically the version that gives you the season pass.
Oh, okay. Breakman, you have a panic zone for us, real quick.
Yes.
Yeah, this is what I said. It's probably too much for a season pass.
All right, Breakman, what you got for us?
Okay, are you not playing the theme or?
Well, I already did, but I can do it again for you.
Right,
Hold on. I got it. Hold on. Here you go.
You've reached the panic zone.
All right, Break, what you got for us?
You have to retrieve a magic potion to save the life of your mother. You have finally gotten to the middle of the cave, and in the middle of that cave is a giant pile of gold with a chest, and in that chest is that magic potion, and on top of that chest is a sleeping dragon. How the fuck do you get that potion?
Who are you asking first?
Great.
Is it an intelligent dragon like in Dungeons and Dragons, or is it just a mean monster dragon like generic?
I'm gonna go halfway. It's semi-intelligent. It doesn't speak English or anything like that, but you can tell it knows what you're saying. Kind of like a dog level intelligence.
Okay. And it's sitting on the chest?
It's sleeping on the chest.
Do I have any magic available to me?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to cast a kind of like a cantrip of talking behind the dragon. Hopefully it just goes that way. Does it go that way?
Oh, so you want to try and fool it and
yeah.
Yeah. That might not be a bad strategy.
Yeah.
You gotta think about how long you want to keep them distracted, because you gotta get in there, gotta open the chest. That chest is gonna make noise when you're opening it.
100%.
If you're climbing up a pile of gold, that's gonna make noise.
Yeah. Well, what I'm doing is I'm doing that. Hopefully the dragon goes far enough that I can run up to that chest, dump it, grab the potion, and then cast a haste spell and run my ass out of there. That's what I'm hoping to do.
Well, Scotima's got right. He says he's going to shrink the dragon because then you have a pet dragon.
Oh, that's even better. I like that idea.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, you have a dragon. You
Yeah.
win.
Oh, what a cute little dragon. And then it like
Yeah, and it's so cute that if you piss me off, it'll bite your fucking face off, motherfucker.
or blow
Fire
blow fire in your face. That would be
Yep.
cool too, you know.
Yeah, it's that cute.
I'm beginning to think that the MVCIB mod isn't making it today. Probably not, Wyland. Probably not. All right. I am going to animate Dead to have Steve Irwin deal with the dragon while I take the potion. No, because he would just get stabbed in the heart by his tail.
But you
Freak
get
Five.
the cameras on, like, when I say here, we have a giant lizard, a fire-breathing dragon. Now these things are notorious for being
Right. Yeah. You know what?
Beautiful.
People, I know Steve Irwin was like, this is going to be controversial, guys. Steve Irwin was widely loved, right? And I couldn't stand him.
I'm sorry.
Couldn't stand a motherfucker because he
trouble.
was bothering nature. I mean, he's like you said, Break. He's like talking about this snake that obviously doesn't want to be held. It's trying to get the fuck away from you, and you're handling it like it's like your right to do. Fuck off with that nonsense. Let it go. You know, I don't know. But anyways, that's just my little soapbox rant. What would you do, Eric?
Be a bard and use music to make it your friend, like via the Pied Piper.
The Pied Piper stick. You're trying to be like the dude from Vox Machina. I see. All right, I got you. That's
That could
interesting.
work.
What would you do,
with a,
Break?
like mid-level intelligence, though, you think maybe how well would it work?
I don't know.
Maybe throw some money in, because dragons like money, right?
Wyland says, "Now watch as I jam my thumb up his butthole. Crikey, he's pissed off now." It's like, I know, man. Like Jesus Christ, man. Holy fuck. Yeah. How about the Irwin parody character on South Park? That's what Wyland just mentioned. Gonna sneak up on that fire-breathing dragon and stick my finger up his bum. Yeah, it's like Jesus, man. Like you might as well. I mean,
South
fuck.
Park.
Yeah, South Park. Yeah, yeah.
Irwin.
Yeah.
Fastest way to die. Shove a finger. Well, I mean, you have a cool story in the afterlife.
No. Instead, you could use your fingers like Kakashi from Naruto, the Thousand Years of Pain.
Break if the Beetlejuice scenario was true, like you try to do that, the dragon like kills you, and you like wake up and you're like in that Beetlejuice waiting room, like 5,100,000,000 and whatever, and you're like waiting there, your face is like full of fire, all charred. And you're like, what happened to you? Oh, I just stuck my finger up a dragon's bum and got blasted.
Dude, that's a cool story. How'd you die?
Yeah, cool story, dude.
Tripped and fell on a rake.
Yeah, I fell to my death from like 10 stories, something stupid.
I died of COVID. That's
COVID.
lame. I fucking stuck my fist in a dragon's ass.
Right. Oh, vey. All right. What would you do, Break?
I would want to mask my scent and appearance, so I definitely want to disappear, and I would probably want to rub myself with whatever like dirt and shit is around from the cave. I would want to distract them, like you were doing, like you said, a spell, like making some sort of noise or something, and maybe conjure or summon a monster to attack it from another angle and get it to lead it away.
Yeah.
While I sneak into the chest. I think that's probably what I would do.
Yeah. Either that or this, Break, man. What if you like make yourself a mimic, like you make yourself like silent, right? But you make yourself a mimic, and then you mimic the what you call it. You distract the dragon with the whatever, either a monster or, like I said, like talking, like in the distance, and then you like flip the thing over, and then you grab the potion, and then you wait for it to go to sleep again. Hopefully it doesn't lay on you again. Well, it probably would. So you just move, and then keep that one there. and then just turn into yourself and leave. Maybe. I don't know, man. That's a pretty good little scenario there. I like the D&D scenario. All right. Oh, God. Chug bullshit. What are you talking about, Skodoma?
Freak
I
said
think he's referencing a movie.
What's going on, man?
Freak said I have an oddly specific fetish of rubbing myself in dirt and shit.
Yeah, that was pretty specific, Breakman. I have to admit, man. Like, where you came up with that, man? You know, it's like...
Hashtag scat.
Yeah, scat.
I'm thinking of being eaten by a dragon. I don't care if I smell like shit if I don't get eaten by the
I
dragon.
know, but that is kind of funny that you mentioned that, Break. Oddly specific, you know. It's like...
Frank, he spent many hours thinking about the scenario in advance, hasn't he?
He's like, he pretended like he didn't think about this, and he like came up
like I just came up with that on.
Yeah, right.
I had a dream about it.
Oh man, how funny! Why did the guy with the foot fetish like to lose? Freak5 says we're waiting your answer. What, you laughing, Bernie? You found something funny, huh? Okay. Steve Irwin being the OG Wild Boys. Why did the guy with the foot fetish like to lose? I don't know, Freak. He loved the taste of defeat. Oh, boy.
We'll have to ban him from the show again.
Yeah, we might, man. That was pretty bad, man. That was really bad. All right. I think that's all we got. Let's do our plugs, guys. Eric. Or I'm sorry, Breakman. Hold on, Breakman. What you got?
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas,
Kwanzaa.
happy, all of them. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Yule, and Festivus, and others. I don't know why there has to be a war on the holidays and everybody's angry about something. As far as like, you didn't say Merry Christmas. Well, I said Merry Christmas, and just. Maybe somebody doesn't celebrate Christmas. I'm not trying to guess who somebody. I'm not going to assume.
Yuck, Skodoma. Skodoma's gross. Skodoma wins exile. All right. 28.
I see that they're working on 28 years later.
Oh God, the trailer for that is haunting. It's so good. I mean, at least the trailer. I don't know if the movie's going to be good. The trailer's really good. It's one of those trailers. You remember when Texas Chainsaw 3 came out, Break, and they had that wicked trailer with Leatherface coming out of the water with the fucking chainsaw, and it was just so badass, and it didn't really tell you anything about the movie, but it was just like just one of the coolest fucking trailers ever. That's what 28 years later trailer is to me, man. It looks fucking awesome. I hope it's good. Like Skodoma hopes it's good, but all right.
Cillian Murphy's supposed to be back.
Yeah. Plugs. Did you do your plugs, Break?
Yeah, that's it. I'm plugging Christmas and the holidays and Kwanzaa and
Freak,
Hanukkah and...
Freak says I'm plugging Bernie's OnlyFans. She is playing with a Christmas tree shaped toy this week. How dare you, Freak?
Is it a life-size Christmas tree toy or scaled down?
It's definitely got to be scaled down. What do you? I mean, come on,
size.
Jesus Christ, you guys. Wyland says 28 days later, week later, go for a bit of money on Blu-ray, but they did release it recently digital, I believe, Wyland. So that's good news.
They're really good fucking movies.
Oh God, both of those movies are pretty good. Even 28 weeks later is pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. Like it shows a really good villain story. Honestly.
Yes, I love that story with the husband and the wife, and it's pretty good. He's a coward. He's like one of the biggest cowards in movie history. That fucking guy.
He is. He's one of the worst people ever.
Yeah.
Like, help me. Nah, I'm gone.
Yep, and he leaves his wife. What a fuck, man.
Yeah.
All right. But a great actor. That guy did really fucking good,
yeah. It was a great performance.
Yeah. All right. Wyland says I love that actor. Me too, Wyland, but I don't know his name. Eric, your plugs, please, sir.
You can find my written reviews on BostonFashionBrigade.com, or you could go to the feed for the podcast and listen to my audio reviews. I mean, you like either of those things, there's a link to my Patreon and my Blue Sky profile, which is Eric RPG, and sending me as little as $1 per month or whatever you want for a one-time donation would help out. And I'd like to be able to record footage for games again with my video card, with a video card set up and a PC that can actually handle it.
Yeah, that would be nice, man. Wyland says Robert Carlyle is the name of that actor. Plays a great.
I mean, capture card, not video card.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Plays a great asshole on Stargate Universe. Yeah, that's right. He was on Stargate Universe.
Because
Yeah,
then I could get into streaming and maybe people could actually pay attention to me. Because I've got no luck actually getting people on my Patreon.
Break. I heard that show is good, but the problem is people are getting Star Wars fatigue with shows. I think it's a general consensus. Because you got like what Andor, you got Mandalorian, you got what else? There's like 3 or 4 other fucking Star Wars.
And there's the people that always complain just because it's new.
What was that, Break?
I said Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, the Bad Bunch. There's a
Yeah,
lot.
it's kind of getting saturated, man. And you could have a great show, which I heard Skeleton Crew is pretty good, but it just gets lost in the sea of fucking.
It's definitely
awesomeness.
geared towards a younger audience, a lot.
Yeah,
Which is why I'm like I'm enjoying it, but I'm not
yeah.
like falling all over it like I was kind of with
I haven't even watched Agatha yet.
shit. What's it called? The
It's MCU.
the Apocalypse, or what the fuck was that show called?
Acolyte.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like that show a lot.
Yeah.
So
I
of
haven't-
course it was canceled already.
I haven't had
So,
Disney Plus in a
so
while,
well.
so I'm out of it. I just haven't had a chance to watch any of that shit. But
it's Goonies set in Star Wars. Johnny LaFay. I'm worried about like the young cast, because the last time they had a young, like they let a Star Wars story off with kids as the starring role was the Ewoks movies, and those were terrible.
okay, my plugs. I only got.
The kids seem like charming enough and stuff like that. It's not geared towards like older people at all.
They're looking for the Stranger Things audience. Break. I think that's what's going on. They really are. Okay. I want to plug a couple of things. I would hope that people go see Terrifier 3 in the theaters on New Year's Eve. They're bringing it back to the theaters. I might go see it. But if nothing else, I want everybody to buy that movie because I want more Terrifier. And I know I complained about not getting my copy, but I think that's just because of demand more than anything. Like I went to 2 different Walmarts. And I couldn't even find so much as a DVD copy. So that bodes well for the future of that franchise, because it's still indie, which is awesome. I mean, it's got a little bit of money now that it hooked up with a certain company, but it's not one of the big studio heads. I read an interview where one of the studios was very interested in buying the Terrifier franchise, but they were wanting to like water it down and get way less gore, and Damien Leone was not having that at all, which I'm very happy. Wyland says, I bought enough copies to fund another movie, according to your I think you have.
Just gifting all your extra copies away then?
Yeah, I know, right? I don't think he's got extras, man. They came out with a different. I'm also going to plug... How dare you son of a bitch, Freak 5, you son of a bitch.
Crikey! I just stuck my finger in my bum. I'm really pissed off now.
That
dare
sounds
you.
like a weird combination of
Breakman, you're exiled too, you son of a bitch.
of Terrence and Phillip and Jack Irwin.
Yeah. I want to also plug Bernie's show. It's called Hot Tub Time Machine. You can watch it every Sunday, 9 Eastern. Just search Bernie B on YouTube. You'll find it. It's a riot. You guys should join. It's basically adult karaoke, if you can imagine that.
I'm thinking of Beavis and Butthead, where they find that guy in Leadros and like, I got my finger stuck in me bum.
Yeah. So that's about all I got. You guys got anything else? Yes, tits. Exactly. Anything else, gentlemen?
Nipples.
Yes, nipples on women, please. Anime directors, please.
Yes.
We'll be willing to pay the
Forget
extra.
about the skeleton crew. What we need is Skeletor crew.
Skeletor crew, yeah. Is Bernie in the hot tub? Could be. Freak 5, you never know. All right.
That reminds
That's
me, I need to watch the Revelation Part 3.
yeah. All right. Stay safe this week. We want to see you back here in a few weeks. Have a great holiday, guys. Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays. Hanukkah, Festivus, whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate. I hope you have a good time. And we'll see you guys back in the new year. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Especially, want to make mention of the guys in chat here. Wyland, Freak5, Scotoma. You guys have been the true dudes of the year for sure in chat. And yeah, Merry Fartmas. Exactly, Eric. I just want to say thank you to all the listeners on YouTube and especially on Twitch. Twitch has been phenomenal this year for us. We've seen more people subscribe, even though it's a low number on Twitch, way more than ever on YouTube. And for that, very thankful, very humble, and thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys in the new year. Till then, we are out. Later, everybody.
Yay.
You're all exiled. All right, guys in chat and guys listening on YouTube and Twitch, thank you all so much. We'll see you guys next year, which isn't too far away. So thanks a lot. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys rock. As always, we're out. Later, everybody.